Hey man, they got a on my ESPN app, they got a way too early top 25. Of course they got North Carolina number 1, but they got Duke number 8, number 9, and they projected lineup. They got one returning starter, and then everybody else is freshmen, and all of them like top 30 in the ESPN 100. Like,
I mean, without Coach K there,
it's gonna be a little different.
Yeah. Davis already kind of like solidified himself as a coach. And Craig, did everybody say they were coming back?
Everybody from Carolina's coming back. That can come.
Oh yeah, they. Wait, what's his name? Was a senior, right? I really like his game.
Manic.
Yeah,
he's not coming back. He was a senior.
I wonder if he's gonna go to the NBA.
Now they look like every
overseas.
so the projected
overseas.
Right here, they say the projected lineup is Caleb Love, RJ Davis, Leaky Black, Puff Johnson, and Baycott. Lord have mercy. Yeah, that's hurt. Lord have mercy. Yeah,
they trying to repeat. Yeah, they got a good chance. I mean, I'm gonna be honest. They get the number 1 seed. Everybody, I'm picking them. If they get, which I believe because they're gonna carry momentum. If they can stay, they're probably gonna win it next year. I mean, they're Carolina, man. They're just. That's why. That's Craig's favorite franchise, and they're great. That's all. I mean, it's people can hate all they want. It's the only Carolina haters I know are really Duke fans. Even, I follow college basketball from Maryland. Terps fans really don't hate Carolina. They dislike them, but they hate Duke. And Craig hates Duke as well. So I think Duke is just hated.
I think in the state of Carolina, I think it's probably more Carolina fans, but maybe like nationwide, I think it's maybe more Duke fans.
Man, I'm telling you, their campus. Have you ever been to their campus?
I don't want to
go. Oh, what, Carolina?
Oh, I thought you were talking about Duke.
No, I went to Carolina campus. Me, Todd, and Jamal, we were coming from New Orleans. We stopped. Oh, what's his name? He played Carolina basketball. He made it to the league, Craig.
It's a bunch of people.
Oh man, I know it's a bunch of people. He played in the 90s. Oh man, he started for like 10 years.
For 10 years?
He was good. Damn, it was before Vince Carter.
Jerry Stackhouse?
Before Jerry Stackhouse. Before Jerry Stackhouse. Dang, if I say his name, you're gonna know who he is. I'm gonna look him up real quick. Here we go. NBA players. No, it wasn't James Worthy. It wasn't Wayne Ellington. Wasn't Kobe White. Wasn't Felton. Wasn't Hitchens. Wasn't Perkins.
Was Sean May?
No.
Oh, maybe it was way later than that.
Wasn't Rashad McCants.
One person I can think of maybe is Donald Williams. Is it Donald Williams? No.
It might be. He played in the 90s.
Jeff McInnes played in the 90s. Donald Williams played.
He's one of my frat brothers that crossed it. Dang, I gotta ask Todd. But we went to the campus, and this was 2000 and.
Well, that was not Jerry Stackhouse. Was way before 2000.
No, this is 2000 and he might have been around Jerry Stackhouse. It was 2012 when we went down there. This is when Quentin Coples, the NFL player, I met him. He's one of my frat brothers too. We were just chalking it up. This is how I know, like, this is when he's gonna be the first pick. Not the first pick in the draft. I think he was like top 4. And he had an Escalade, man. It was crazy. But the campus is really beautiful. And then all of the campuses are like next to each other.
Yeah, they're not there.
It was like Carolina, Duke, NC State.
Yeah.
And they're all campuses are like all around each other. So he was like, man, college basketball season it's crazy. We were there on a Tuesday night and it was jumping, man. It was a nice it was nice. He might have been around. Was it before Vince Carter? Might have been around the Jerry Stackhouse. But yeah, he was cool, man. Wasn't around 95. Wasn't Rasheed Wallace, but it could have been in that. I don't think it was Hubert Davis. Wasn't Hubert Davis because obviously I would have told you that. He was cool though. Let me see if I could find him. I'm on the website. Well, no, I'm not gonna find him, but he was cool, man, and we went and chopped it up, and he was a cool guy, man. Showed us around the campus. It's a nice campus. It's huge, So that was good. When I was single traveling, we went to New Orleans that year. Because the Final Four is down in New Orleans. That's the year Anthony Davis won. They beat Kansas in the national championship. I don't know why North Carolina wasn't down there, but yeah, he was cool, man. He was cool, man.
No,
So,
I
can't. I'm gonna find out who he is, man. I'm gonna hit up Jamal. I'm gonna find out who he was, because he was
think I got beat by Kansas.
Yeah, Kentucky won, I think.
No, I'm saying
Carolina that year? Yeah, Kansas was a beast, man. They were a beast. Dang, it wasn't. I don't know. I'm gonna find out, but yeah, it was cool, man. He was cool. He played like the 90s. But yeah, so that was a good experience, Craig, man. That was a really good experience. It was cool. Stopped in like nighttime, and we drove to New Orleans, so it was on the way. It was cool, man. So damn, I wish I would have just know what player he was. But he was like a point guard. I'm gonna find out and I'm gonna tell you. You're gonna be like, oh snap.
Hey, how many years did Corpus play in the league?
Who?
The DN you was just talking about. The DN, the dude I met the 4 player.
I think Corpus played a couple years. I think 4 or 5.
Yeah,
maybe like 6. He was cool. He was a cool guy. He was like he drove the Escalade. I'll tell you that much. He did, man. Right before he draft. We were just talking to him, man. He was cool. Yeah, he played. Yeah, like 4 years.
Was it Ed Cota?
Who?
Ed Cota? No. Jamal Williams? No.
Jamal Williams. Right. That's who it was. Yeah. Jamal Williams. He played like in the 90s, right?
Yeah, he's got to be like in his mid 40s right now.
Yeah. He's like brown skin, my complexion.
Yeah, he's yeah. Yeah. I remember, yeah, back in the
day. Yeah.
That's trying to think of.
Yeah, he was cool, yo. Yeah. That was like 10 years ago. Man. Yeah, man. That was a fun time. This is when before I met Faith, I was single. So I had a fun time down in New Orleans, man. New Orleans is a great city. If you've never been to it, man, it's a great city. But all right, get these topics out. Oh Man.
Hold up. Is it Stanley Cup? Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
just started.
Cosby.
Hey, I'm gonna need the Orioles stop giving up. Stop. How you gonna win a game 10-0 and then lose a game 10-0? Listen. Like, what are you doing giving up 10 runs in baseball? Like, listen.
The who? Orioles?
Yeah.
They ain't that good anyway.
The Rangers made the East Conference Finals. Well, at least somebody in New York winning. They had something to cheer for.
All right. Hey, how did you find them out so quickly? Do you have a Rolodex or something?
Who?
Hey, the NBA player, man.
No, I just remember. I'm just trying to think of people that was back. That was, I guess, good or decent. That went probably.
Yeah, he was decent. He was good. He played in the league for a minute. He was just breaking down. I think he. I don't know if he's on the coaching staff. He was, I think. Yeah, but he was cool, man. Let me find out Craig got a Carolina Rolodex shit, man.
He was a good player.
Oh, all right, guys. How was your week, man?
Wasn't bad.
Not bad at all. Just grinding. I love the extra day, the Memorial Day. Extra day to rest, dealing with these kids and stuff.
Oh yeah, man. I relaxed. Well, I didn't relax. So I ain't relaxed working. Didn't cook out. I don't know.
Yeah, I ain't done no cookouts. I was looking for a cookout. Give me a nice little burger or something, some baked chicken on the grill or something.
I haven't been to. You know what? I haven't been to a nice cookout in a while, man.
I'm trying to stay off fries after my homeboy wedding. I'm the best man. I'm trying to stay off fries and fast food to them. But
when's the wedding?
June 18th.
Oh, you be all right. That's 2 weeks, man.
Yeah, that ain't bad.
Yeah,
but you know how I move around so much. I'm not stationary, so it's like you gotta grab stuff quick. I'm not really in a place where I can just think it out. Like I gotta grab something quick, put it on your stomach, keep it moving. So it's like.
All right, man. That's nice. I ain't been to a wedding in a minute either. All right. I haven't, man. I don't think.
I ain't been. I ain't been to one since Drew.
That was the last one. I was so faithful. Like Drew done got it right there. Because that was what? September
6, 2019. Yeah, 19. Because Pop passed in 20. So yeah, they had to be
Pop passed right in 20.
Yeah.
And then COVID hit.
Yeah. So it had to be 19.
It was 19.
Yeah, cause I remember he passed out. He had passed out while we was down there. Yeah,
passed out. Yeah.
So
yeah, man. So all right, guys. Interesting. Corey not gonna be here, but we got a lot of NBA stuff anyway. Which I love this time of year. That's why I got the Kobe on, guys. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna shout my man out. He was there for, in 10 years he went to 7 NBA finals. So this is his time. This is
10 years.
He went to 7 finals in 10 years. So from 2000 and from 2000.
How about you made his
2010? No. 2010 went to 7 NBA finals, man. That's hard to do. A lot of players, that's hard, man. Matter of fact, Steph, they've been to what? 6 finals and 8
6
years?
to 8, yes. Yeah,
Tough,
they were the
man.
what fourth? I think the fourth franchise, either the fourth franchise or the fifth
Yeah,
franchise
it's
to do that.
tough to do that. It's hard, man. It's hard to win the NBA Finals. Anyway,
Matter of fact, that was the first since the 98, that 90 Bulls team,
Bulls
that 90s
team?
Bulls, yeah, 90s
Yep.
Bulls squads to do it.
I can see it. So that's right, because LeBron was with different teams when he did it.
Yeah. So they ain't do no
Yeah.
6'8". Yeah, they ain't do no 6'8".
Yeah, LeBron was, because he was the Heat. Okay, anyway, all right. Enough about LeBron. He's, I love him, but he's watching it just like everybody else. We reloading right now. Lakers reloading.
He'll watch it next year. They might go to playoffs, but he'll be watching next year too.
Here we go with all that, man.
We'll be watching next year too.
Here we go with all that, man. Golly.
Team is trash.
No, they made the playoffs though. I give them enough respect. I think they made the playoffs.
I was just hating on the great purple and gold.
No, I'm saying he'll make the playoffs.
Craig, y'all hate, man. Golly.
Good, man. What you mean?
The season hasn't started yet. We're gonna be good, man. We already got the good coach. We're gonna talk about that later, though.
How do you know?
Oh, and that's the reason I'm saying the playoffs. And that's why I'm giving y'all just due. I'm saying playoffs.
Don't even worry about that. So now, the finals have been set. Boston Celtics, Golden State Warriors. I love it because with the NBA, we all know this. And this is kind of why I love the NBA. Not to say nothing wrong with the NFL and where it's parity, where it's, you might get a wild card team to make it a Super Bowl, which is cool. But I like the NBA, probably the NHL too, is you get the best teams here. You might get an upset, right? But it's hard for like an 8 seed or to go to the finals. Most times it's the 1 through 4 seeds that are in the finals, which have been the best teams in the NBA. Most times, and I appreciate that because they're the best teams. You get to see the best of the best, So we got the Boston Celtics and the Golden State Warriors. And the Golden State has home field, I believe, home court.
Yeah, they do.
Got the home court.
Only thing about that, they had a late, man, them games you start late. Man, listen, that game only starts at 9.
I'm cool with it.
Yeah, by the time they clip off, it's 9:30 because they're gonna have the national anthem and all the talks.
It's gonna be late. It's gonna be late. I think the bubble was late too. Last year it wasn't. They were playing Phoenix.
No, the bubble wasn't late.
The bubble's early, yeah, but the bubble they was early.
Oh yeah. That's right, because they were in the central site. Last year was late though, because that was. I mean, you gotta think it's prime time, man. People, 9 to
man, but they gonna be
9 to 12.
Man,
but the crazy part is
you want to be earlier.
But on the West Coast, they're gonna be. What's that? 6 o'clock West Coast time.
6 p.m. Yeah, you want it earlier, Craig?
And if the games are in Boston, you can at least start it at 8. You don't have to start the games at 9 for Boston games.
Yeah, that's true. You would have to start at 8.
And if it's on like a weekend, why not just start it at 8 anyway, regardless if it's on West Coast or East Coast? It should be 8.
8, 7.
I can see an 8:30 tip for either one. No, just either one. 8:30 at the latest. You starting the game at 8:30 tip. By the time, like Mo said, by the time you get through all that, the highlights and the pregame and all that stuff, it's like 9:20, 9:30 tip. Like,
yeah.
If you're gonna start the game at 9, tip it at 9. Don't tip it at 9:15, 9:23 or whatever it is.
Because think about it, because especially game one, because they doing. I mean, with every game, but game one they hype it up. You got introductions, you got national anthem, you got all that stuff.
Commercial break.
And I think regardless, don't they do the? Well, no, they only did that because it was Toronto a couple of years ago, right? Do they do the Canadian national anthem? They do both national anthems?
No. That was just Toronto. Yeah, it was just because Toronto.
Okay.
Yeah, it's gonna tip off. If it starts at 9, tip off is probably gonna be
like 9:15, 9:20, all the talking, all.
Yeah, about 9:15, 9:20.
They give me about halftime. I'm gonna try to stay up because game one, because Friday got work, but I'll be all right. I'll fight through it. But Lord,
I'm gonna try to stay up. We'll see. Yeah. But yeah, all right. So who wins the series? And how many games and why?
All right, all right. I want to see new blood. I want to see new blood. Don't get me wrong. I want to see new blood, but I love Dynasty and I love Golden State because they've done it the regular way. I understand people can say, "Oh, they brought KD in," but I give them respect for that because they won a chip before they brought KD in. So they built their organization around people they've drafted. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Their three best players, they drafted them. So I can respect that. So I'm gonna say Warriors in 7. I think this is gonna go 7. I think it's gonna be a classic. I'm gonna say Warriors in 7. Yeah, I'm gonna say Warriors in 7.
You don't know what Craig's gonna say, man. I know Craig. We don't know what Craig's gonna say because he's a stickler for picks, unlike me.
I mean, I picked the Warriors before the series, before the playoffs even started.
See, there you go. See that?
I forgot who I picked. We got to run some of the tape back. I forgot who I said was gonna win it. I think I said Phoenix or Milwaukee. Yeah, once I said Phoenix or Milwaukee. I think I said that.
I said the Bucks, but
yeah, I think I said Phoenix finally gonna get over the hump. I think I did say Phoenix.
No.
I mean, I had the Warriors from the beginning, so I'm still sticking with them. I mean, there's no reason for me to change my pick now just because the Celtics are in the final. I don't really care. So I'm sticking with the Warriors. Like, I just think they have they have all the experience. Like 150 plus games to 0 versus for Boston. So the experience.
I thought it was 121.
Oh, is it? Okay, maybe it's
final games. It's a lot.
I thought it was a whole bunch. Well, it's over 100. So, and the Celtics have 0 combined. So, they have home court advantage. They have the better shooter. Better shooters in general. Udoka's in his first year coaching versus Steve Kerr, who's been there multiple times as a player and a coach. And Clay, he finally had a really good game in game 5 against Dallas, his best game of the series, and he's coming off of that game, and he's had rest, and they're getting Peyton back. They're getting Iggy back, and might be getting. And looks like they'll be getting quarterback. So you're getting a lot of players back that were hurt. Both teams have problems with turnovers. Boston can shoot, but they can't shoot like Golden State. Boston's better on the defensive side, and so you got kind of strength on strength. You got a really good defensive team, which is a really good offensive team. I like the fact that both teams kind of they didn't go the route of I guess like bringing other players in.
They're homegrown. Both are homegrown.
Yeah, so that's cool. I know there's been talk about Kevin Durant not on his former team, and then you got
we're gonna
former team and all this stuff, and there's talk about should he stay, whatever, should either one of them stay.
We're gonna talk about that later.
I just think it's a cool story to have homegrown players pretty much that they built through the draft, and Boston with their picks that they traded Kevin Garnett and Paul Pierce for, they returned those picks into Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum, and Marcus Smart's coming into his own. He's defensive player of the year. So, but I got Golden State in 6. In Boston.
Is it gonna be a close 6?
As in like close?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it's probably gonna be a couple blowouts, and it's not gonna be every game. It's not gonna be close, but and by blowouts I mean like 10 points, double-digit points.
Yeah, okay.
So like 10 points, 10 to 14 points or something like that. But I got to go with Golden State. I just think that they have just all the experience, and then they have home court. So if it does go back to Golden State for Game 7, that hostile environment is going to be crucial for this team. And I just don't think with Boston having no experience and first time being there, not saying that they're going to be just happy to get there, but the lights are going to be too bright for them, I think.
Oh,
I think.
All right. You know what, guys? I've been tossing and turning in my bed about this. I don't know who I'm gonna pick. It's first. It was I'm leaning towards Golden State, but I'm picking Boston, and that's how I'm going, man. I don't have a team. I've been picking against them this whole time. Besides the Nets, they swept. I just think they're. You know what? I get experience. But Steph and Dre and Clay, you know, they needed experience too. So it's Boston's first time, and I think they're gonna look at the lights and shut them down. I think they're gonna ball out, and I think it's gonna be a 7-game series. I think it's gonna be one of the best finals we've probably seen in a while. I do. That's just me. I think it's gonna be a great basketball team versus another great basketball team. The storylines are great. You got Jason Tatum texting Kobe. You got, and that's his favorite player of all time.
Kobe texted him back and said,
"Go ahead, chill, man." I see that. I said that. I said that straight to you. I was like, "This internet is wild, man." So, internet is crazy. So, and then you got, we're gonna talk about Steph and Draymond, the legacies later. But I think Boston is. I think they're gonna do it. I think it's time for something new. I think they're young. They've been waiting for this. And listen, defense wins championships, and I think Boston has the defense to do it. They can play small, they can play big. I think Al Horford shows up. I think Marcus Smart has been showing up, and I think Boston. When you get to this level, you only running probably eight-man rotation, so it's not gonna be too deep. And I think Boston 8 men are gonna show up. I think Steph is gonna show up. I think Clay is gonna show up. I'm worried about Poole a little bit. He hasn't shown up like he was, and they're gonna need Poole to show up, and they're gonna need Draymond again, and Wiggins. But once again, I think this is gonna be a good.
I think Wiggins gonna be the X factor though.
Better hope so, because
just for defense, I think, because you can't put Clay on Tatum for the whole series. So you want to rotate between Wiggins, between the rookie. I think they're gonna use the rookie at times. Because you got the long arms, Kuminga. What's his name? Kuminga, something like that.
Yeah, it's Kuminga. But you also got Jaylen Brown that's not getting talked about a lot. So Boston is going to be able to throw bodies, and they can have their switch ability is the highest switch ability rate in the NBA, which means they switch a lot, and I think that's going to deter Golden State, and I think Boston is going to come out champions.
I think they're gonna run Boston around more than other teams have in the East. I think a lot of them teams in the East, their offense is real stagnant. Like I think Golden State will make Boston run around more than they're used to. I'm not saying Boston won't be good defensively. I'm saying make them work more.
Maybe we'll see, because they definitely Golden State gonna have to work on their end too. So I just think it's gonna be a good series. I think Boston's gonna go ahead and pull it out. And then everybody's going to be talking about, Tatum. I've loved Tatum for a minute. He is a superstar. We'll talk about that. We're going to talk about that later. But so I got Boston.
As a Lakers fan, you're picking the Celtics to get.
Yes, I am. I am. I like players, and Lakers aren't there, and I mean I like Tatum, man. I think Tatum is that guy.
He's not that guy.
He's
not.
All right.
I mean, what do we mean by that guy though? Craig, you know about that guy like not top 10, or not that guy like not that guy?
He's not the best player in this series, the guy. If you're saying that.
Oh no, not at all. Not at all. I think that's disrespectful to say that.
But after he wins, he'll be that guy.
He'll be what guy? Best player in the league, guy?
No. Would he be top 10?
He'll be the best player in that series.
If he wins, if he wins a chip,
they win a championship with the Finals MVP. He'll be that guy.
He's not the
best. I'm saying, do we put him in the top 10 though?
He'll be the best player in the series if he wins Finals MVP and that chip. You heard it.
That doesn't mean he's the best player in the series.
Well,
Steph can drop 50 points a game and still lose the series.
If they lose the Finals,
there's no way you're going to tell me that Tatum, who drops 20 points a game, is a better player than Steph.
We'll see.
Maybe it's not possible.
Maybe.
No way.
I know Steph wasn't on the All-NBA team this year.
Steph missed I don't know how many games.
And Tatum's a better defender, but that's neither here or there.
I mean, it's two different, I mean, that's another thing we talk about position because that's why I don't like.
I'm just saying.
I don't like that. Hold up.
That might be on a little down, recently. Like on the downturn. That's all I'm saying.
Like them trying to argue. They're trying to argue LeBron and Curry's legacy now. I'm like, no, they're two different players. Like you can't even. That's why I talk to people. Are we talking about stats? Or are we talking about winning? Like, because they're two different players. You can't even compare them. Like that's what's tough.
They're two different players, and they've impacted the game in
different ways.
But so this is Craig. You touched on it earlier. This has been coming up a lot. The Warriors won a title. Did Kevin Durant, make a mistake by leaving?
No. There's nothing he could do if he's. I mean, obviously looking back on it, you can say, yeah, he made a mistake. But I think he wanted to choose his own path. He got his rings. He wanted to make his own mark in the league and not hear people say, because I personally didn't like the move for him going there in the first place.
Nobody liked it.
But after he got there, I was like, you might as well stay. But I mean, he didn't stay. So I mean, I'm not killing him for leaving. That's his prerogative. He wanted to move on, and he wanted to make his own journey and do it his way and have his own team again and get his ring by himself, not by himself, but get his ring with his own team. Not have to be
hard to do
with Steph and Clay and Dre, a team that was already established that won 73 games. If you win more championships out there, you're just gonna. I mean, Kevin Durant won. He'll win 5 championships with Golden State, but people are gonna look back on his career and his legacy and be like, well, he did it, but he joined a 73-win team. They were up 3-1 and they lost. They lost 3 games in a row. They blew the series in the conference finals. Then he joined them, and then he stayed there, blah, blah, blah. And, so it's not the same as having your own team like Brooklyn. Mm-hmm. So I'm cool with him going to Brooklyn and trying to establish his own. It just hasn't worked out with the team that he has, mostly because of Kyrie, in my opinion. But it's just something that he wants to do on his own, and I don't fault him for that. So if he can win a championship with Brooklyn, to my knowledge, I don't think Brooklyn's ever won a championship. So
no, they haven't
bring a championship to Brooklyn and do it before the Knicks get one. We haven't won one since the 70s. That'll be big for the city of New York, or
it'll be huge.
It'll be big for his legacy, big for his career. So
yeah,
like I said, I don't have a problem with him leaving. So it is what it is.
Mo, you got a problem with KD leaving? You think he made a mistake?
I mean, I mean, looking at hindsight, you can say he made a mistake, but I don't have no problem with him leaving. He wanted to do it on his own because a lot of people felt like, he kind of bandwagon, what I'm saying, kind of got on a strong team. But what you got to give him credit for is he went out both those finals and dominated to get finals MVP. It's not like he went out there and had sorry games, because even before he got hurt, when they went for the 3-peat, he won 2, right?
Yeah, so they were going for a 3-peat.
They were going for the 3-peat. He got hurt.
3-peat hard. That 3-peat hard.
I mean, he got hurt against Toronto, and before that, he was having strong playoffs before he got hurt.
Scored 11 points in 10 minutes.
He got hurt before that. He got hurt the series before that because he only played one game.
Yeah. He got hurt.
I mean, he was having a strong season. He did get hurt.
Was it the Rockets?
I think it was the Rockets. He got hurt.
Yeah, he got hurt game 6. Yeah, because he was out game 6, because that's when they first started going on the Rockets. Like, okay, KD got hurt. How do you lose game 6 and game 7?
Yeah, that's when they shot all those threes, I believe.
Yeah. Because they was up 4-2 and they lost, and I think Rockets lost game 6 and game 7 after KD got hurt.
Yep. Wasn't Chris Paul out too?
Something like that, I think so.
I think Chris Paul was out.
Yeah. But I mean,
it's no excuse.
It's going to be with their roster, it's going to be hard. If they can find a way, and this is the thing now, I just don't think they play enough defense to be able, because even with Ben Simmons, if Ben Simmons comes back at even 50% of what he used to be, because of what they have around him, he's not going to be forced to really be a scorer like they needed him to be with Philly. But I don't think defensively as a whole team, they play enough good defense to beat some of the greats in the East, to beat a Miami or beat a Boston or beat a Milwaukee or beat a Philly. I just don't see it. So, I mean, they still gonna have good records, but I just don't see him win the championship in the next 2-3 years. I don't see it.
Woo. Did Kevin Durant make a mistake by leaving? So I've been thinking about this. Me, no. I think every man has a choice to make, and you have to, of course, dive out of the choice. That's what you make. He's a grown man. But once you make that choice, you have to stick with it. And I think sometimes people underestimate how much culture means, how much leadership means. And it matters, right? It matters. I was talking to my wife, Faith, and she was like, why did Tom Brady win when he was in Tampa versus New England? I said, well, leadership. Right? He cultivated the locker room. That's a fact. Like, players have said it, Not Sue was there, right? And other players, but Tom Brady kind of was another glue piece for that.
I mean, I think Boston. I think Boston another example of that. I think what's going on in Boston now, a new coach, a new voice. I think he was able to captivate that locker room, bring it out of them what they needed.
Yeah, but I believe that. But I just think that, you live. Listen, Kobe made that choice early in his career too, and it gets real. He had to change in order for him to win. He had to change who he was, and I think KD has to. I don't mind him making it. You're gonna make the choice. The choice is already made. For him. So I think I'm the type of person that once you make the choice, you gotta go with it. And I don't think he made a mistake. Now some people say that if he doesn't win a championship, people can look back on it. It's up to him. The destiny is in his hands. He can create his own path like he's been doing. But I just think that it's not having a strong culture and a team is underrated sometimes, because that's how you win championships, So, and all this nonsense, like they don't need a coach, they do. Like that's just crazy. But I don't know. I think he's good and he's still young. He can win a championship. So, and if if it goes by the way I think it goes, and he wins a championship in Brooklyn, then he you can't tell him nothing. You can't tell me nothing. So, but yeah, he didn't make no mistake, man. Some people say that he could have stayed, and Golden State culture is great for him. And I mean, you think if he stays in Golden State, like Craig says, they don't win against Toronto, but I don't think they're in a play-in. Last year, was KD healthy last year? KD was healthy last year. I don't think they're making a plan. I think they're a better team. So we don't know. They could have won it last year if KD was there, but we don't know, man. If was a fifth, we all be drunk. So, there it is. Now, Craig doesn't think this is gonna happen, but nobody knows the future. If Boston wins, what does this mean for the franchise and its players?
I mean, the Celtics will have 18 titles, which is more than anybody. So I mean, that's one notch above the Lakers. They have the most titles in the NBA history. Obviously for Tatum, for Brown, mostly for, I guess, for those two, but for Tatum in particular, he'll be looked at as one of the best players in Celtics history, I think. I think Bird and obviously Russell, those are like the top two. You can put them in any order you want, and then it's probably like Paul Pierce or Kevin McHale or something like that, or I'm sure some other guys, Kuzi and Havlicek and all. But those are like some of the better players out there, and Tatum's going to put himself right up in that stratosphere, I guess, in Celtics franchise best players ever. So I think he's already a top 10 player in the league. He's probably like 10 or whatever, but I think this is going to push him up further on that list, push him up further on the top 75 or whenever the top 100 when they come out with that list in 25 years or whatever.
The top 100.
Yeah,
he'll probably on there. Yeah,
him,
Luka.
It's just going to be and he's just going to cement his legacy even more. So and this is what the Celtics are all about. The Celtics and the Lakers, they're all about championships. So if you can get a championship there like Paul Pierce did, obviously like Larry Bird and them, and then you know what I'm saying, you've already solidified yourself as one of the better players, definitely in Celtics history. But I just think it'll be definitely good for his legacy because he's been to the conference finals I don't know how many times. Like three times.
Been there three times.
He's never gotten there. So I think this is big for him. And for the team, like the team at one point in time, they were talking about trading Jaylen Brown. Udoka looked over.
Marcus Smart too.
Like this team looked like a different team back in like January than they are now. So they're starting to come into their own. They're starting to pick it up. They're playing really good defense and they're shooting the ball well. They just turn the ball over too much. Maybe that was mostly Miami's pressure, Miami's defense. Maybe they won't turn the ball over as much against Golden State. But yeah, man, this is going to be big for Tatum if he gets this, especially even if he doesn't get Finals MVP, which I mean, if Jaylen Brown outplays him or something like that, I just think just the championship overall will just be good for his legacy.
Celtics win it all. What does this mean for the franchise and the players? I think it's huge. I think that, Jason Tatum is 24 and Jaylen Brown's 25. Jason Tatum, he's on a very short list of players that have made the NBA Finals and first team All-NBA. And it happened at the age of 24. He's in rare company. Kobe did it. That's rare. So I think he would. I'm not going to call him the best player in the NBA, but he'll be superstar status. He's already reached it, but winning the finals, if they win the finals and he wins finals MVP and he's only 24, man, the league's in good shape, man, because you got him, Giannis, Luka. I think it'll be huge, man. And Jaylen Brown, they just showed a clip about Jaylen Brown. He was on the floor. He was like, damn, I'm playing a finals one day. And now he's here. Marcus Smart. I just think the attitude and how many times they've been trying. And it would kind of bring back the essence of homegrown players, right? Like Craig said earlier, these Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown are picks from when the Nets traded KG and Paul Pierce. And look how long it took them. But sometimes, patience is all that you need. And I think that Boston it'll be huge for the franchise and players. And the franchise hasn't won since 2008. 8. They haven't been back since 2010. But with Tatum and Brown, they're going to be, I don't want to say this because this happened to Dirk Nowitzki against the Heat. And same with Dwayne Wade. Like, oh, we got a young team. We're going back. You're not necessarily going to get a trip back to the finals. It's hard to get there. So you get there, you got to win. CP3 is going through that now. Even if Phoenix comes back healthy next year, you're going to have the Clippers. You're going to have Denver full strength. You're going to have the Lakers at full strength. That's Portland is going to make some moves. They're talking about Portland trying to get Zach LaVine, man, go out there with Dame, and they get Jeremy Grant. Like, it's the West is tough. So, I think once you get to the finals, you got to take advantage of it. So, if Boston wins, it'll be huge. What do you think, Mo?
I definitely think it'd be huge. Reason being, I think it's where they were. If you look at where they were, it was a time they were multiple games under 500, and like you said, people were talking about trading Brown. People were like, can Tatum and Brown play together? People questioning, was Tatum even a star in this league? And they turned it around on the defensive side of the ball. And I think they've proven.
I can't believe people were saying that though, Mo, that Tatum wasn't
so many,
good. I was like, y'all guys are crazy. So young.
They changed it on the defensive side of the ball. And I'm going to, and I know this is going to sound crazy to people what I'm going to compare this to, but, and it's the opposite effect technically, but it almost it's almost a better version, and I'm really going to say a better version. I'm not going to say the same, but it's a better version of what happened with Tony Dungy and John Gruden. So where a coach kind of helped, and I'm not going to take anything.
Yeah, I got you.
Stevens.
I got you.
He did pour into Jaylen Brown and Tatum and them, so I'm not going to take anything away from him. But a new voice was needed. He wasn't the guy to get them to that next level.
I mean, he looks like a genius now because he's up. Yeah. He's president.
Yeah.
And he picked.
Danny Ainge ain't there no more. Now Danny Ainge gone, so Danny Ainge looked like he didn't know what he was doing, or he wasn't a good motivator or whatever. So sometimes it takes a new voice. It's not to take nothing away from the people who laid the groundwork. Yeah. But sometimes it takes another group of people to just get over the hump. You know what I'm saying? Take it to the next level.
Same thing with the Warriors, with Mark Jackson and Kerr.
You know what I'm saying? So I think it's going to be. I think it's going to be big. I think they're one of the most unlikely Boston teams to win a championship, because a lot of the Boston teams that won championships, you had them as the favorites. You know what I'm saying? You kind of had them. You kind of expecting them to win a championship. This team, some people was there, but a lot of people thought they would be good. They might win a series, but a lot of people can't wholeheartedly say they thought Boston was going to win a chip this year. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people can't, not with no first-year head coach, a lot of the turmoil that was going on there. A lot of people can't say they expected this team to be in this position.
No. Except for that one Boston fan who got a tattoo.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah, he got a tattoo at the beginning of the season, said they were going to win. Nobody's calling him crazy now, but I don't know about no tattoo.
No, I don't know about that.
So, all right, flip it. Let's do the flip side. All right, Golden State. If Golden State wins, how much does this mean for the franchise and the players?
I mean, I think it's legacy now. I mean, I think for them it means a place in history. Like, you gotta look at this. So would this be their fourth? You know what I'm saying? A lot of players will hope that. I mean, this will be what Curry, Steph, and Draymond's fourth.
It'll be to have 4 championships.
Right, to have 4, like. Yeah, you talking about now? You're up there. You're up there in the greats.
Shaq. Yeah. Kobe got more than 4. Kareem, Magic. Yeah, you talking? Yeah, you're on a different level.
Yeah, now you on a different level. Especially you talking about stars. I mean, you talking about stars. You ain't talking about role players. You talking about stars now winning 4 championships. Like you won 4 championships and you played at a high level. It's not like you went and was a role player just playing and helping. Like you were mainstays on. And then what it means is they got drafted. So it's now you've worked together to build your game. And look at it now. They won a championship without KD.
Ooh, I knew you was gonna say it.
KD came. Hold up. KD came. They won 2 championships. But to win this one now, after KD left and going through what they went through with Clay being out for what, a year and a half, and to come back and win the chip.
Draymond was out too. Yeah, they had a lot of injuries.
Yeah, it puts them. I think it puts them on a definite plateau in the history of this league, in the history of the NBA.
Yeah.
Like I honestly, I could understand people's points against them being a dynasty, but also I could argue also to them being a dynasty. And my argument would be is how they've built that team from the ground up and where they started at. Like they were terrible. Like they were terrible. Like it was bad. Before they got Clay and Steph, it wasn't like that was a cash cow organization. You know what I'm saying? Nah. Like when they drafted and then they questioned, it was people who was upset when they got Steph. They still wanted Monte Ellis. He was still cool with Monte Ellis.
That's when they had Monte Ellis
and Baron Davis and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Craig, what you think, man?
As far as the organization, like this would be 7 titles for them. So they'll put them in 3rd right now, the tie with Chicago. But I mean, just for this group of guys that's on this team, obviously, like Mo said, that'll be 4th, or that'll be their 4th. So you're already talking about people saying, where does this put Steph? Is he a top 10 player now?
Already, golly, man.
If he wins this title, wins the Finals MVP, is he a top 10 player or what? Or is he higher? And then they're talking about is he higher than KD or is he not higher than KD on this list or whatever it is. So there's that talk. And obviously, Steph's legacy is going to be impacted whether he wins or not. I don't think it really takes away from his legacy. I think it just, if he does win, it's going to just strengthen it. If he doesn't win, I don't think it impacts it at all.
No,
I mean, he doesn't have a Finals MVP, which a lot of people keep saying he needs, or he should have got in the first championship that they got. He could have got over top of Iggy, but he didn't get it, regardless of what happened. And then 2006 or 2016, 2019. I'm sorry. He should have been MVP if they had won. Like his stats were. I mean, but obviously they.
It's hard coming over injuries to Clay and KD.
Clay game 6 got hurt, and then KD came back in game 6 and got hurt. Played a little. So I mean, I just think just for this franchise, for Steve Kerr getting another title for him, and then guys like obviously Clay and Dre, who've been there since day one, winning championships with this team. It's going to be huge for them, huge for the city. I do think they are a dynasty. I don't think some people say you have to win 3 in a row to be a dynasty, and I don't really agree with that because the Patriots never won 3 in a row, but I consider them a dynasty, and a lot of people do. But that's a whole nother conversation. But I do think that this will be kind of. I think if I want to rank the championships, I probably would put this one if they can pull it off as 1. I think this is the toughest team that they will probably have faced, especially on the defensive side. I know LeBron James and Kyrie and when they had Kevin Love, like that was a tough team as well. So maybe that team when they lost in the finals that year could have been better. But this is a different group of players. Obviously, Clay, Steph, and Dre, they're older, so it's not like and Steph and Clay is still trying to get back to 2018 Clay. So he's there. Everybody's trying to just work back into the whole routine of everything and that, and then just overcoming everything that they've overcome as far as injuries and stuff like that go. I think they had an easier path to get here because of the first round. Denver didn't have their 2 of the top 3 players. Then you had John Morant get hurt in the second round. Then last round you had an inexperienced team who, I mean,
they needed help. Dallas needed help.
But Dallas is still like a player or 2 away from making it to the finals. So I mean, they had an easier path to get here, but I'm not taking anything away from what they've accomplished, and it'll just be a big legacy booster for Steph, mostly Steph.
I think that both of you are right. I mean, some good points. I when I was thinking about this question, man, I just go back and you got, man, 6 finals in 8 years. Whether they win or not is cement history, right? I mean, that's listen. We all know NBA is done in stretches. The Lakers did it. Spurs did it. Right? The Bulls did it. The Heat did it. Right? The Golden State Warriors did it. Where she stretches and it's just a good team, and they always find themselves there. And I do like that about the NBA. And I think, man, it'll mean if they could pull this off, it'll mean a lot. I'm not a big person like just like Craig said. That's all I hear. How much does a Finals MVP, Steph? The man would have 4 rings. 4 rings. He's already considered the best 3-point shooter ever. And they're not done, right? But it's gonna be tough next year. It's gonna be real tough. Like I said, the West you're gonna still have Phoenix. Dallas is probably gonna reload. Memphis is gonna be there. Denver's gonna be there. The Clippers are gonna be there. The Lakers are gonna be there. So it's gonna be a different landscape. So I'm not gonna say they might not go back, but they might not. You know, everybody's getting older, and I think, man, 4 championships with those players would mean a lot. You know, it's Steph's legacy cemented. You know, Manny, made the show. So Craig knows Manny. We were going back and forth on IG, and I was like, "Yo, is Steph? You know, where does he rank?" He's like, "Yeah, man, Steph is right behind Magic." So wait a minute, forget about Isaiah Thomas. So, but he's younger than me. So, I mean, I think Steph is going to be, huh?
I'll take him over Isaiah Thomas.
Yeah, see, that's if he wins. I think Steph's legacy is cemented. He's changed the game. Kids are going into the gym, shooting deep threes. That's the impact of the game you want. You want an impact of the game where people are growing up looking up to you, wanting to be you. It was Jordan, right? For guys, big guys, it was probably Shaq. Kobe, Kobe was a lot of people's favorite. Steph Curry's a lot of people's favorites. LeBron, kids are coming up being like, yo, I'm trying to be like LeBron. So that's that impact on the game alone is phenomenal and great. And a lot of and that's giving back to the game at the highest degree, I think, and that's pushing it forward. And not a lot of players can say that, and that's what makes you a legend. So, all right, Lakers. They hired a new head coach, Darwin Ham. Any
Yeah.
Go ahead. Yeah, get it out. Get it out.
Hey, Craig.
It doesn't make a difference who the coach is for the Lakers for this team next season.
Really, man.
It doesn't. Steve Kerr, Steve Nash, Udoka. It doesn't matter.
What type of hate is this?
Pop. It doesn't matter. And the reason why it doesn't matter, as good as a coach as Darwin Ham.
I know what you're about to say. Go ahead.
As good as a coach as Darwin Ham could be, because I think he's a really good, well-respected head coach. He's a former player, so he knows everything like that. He has that connection with his players, and players listen to him. He's a tough coach. He's hard-nosed. He's all that. Like, I remember Darwin Ham playing against Carolina when he dunked the ball and broke the backboard. That's what everybody was saying. Yeah, that's the biggest thing that I remember. about Darwin Ham, and that was he was a freshman in college that year. That was '96 in the NCAA tournament. So I take that, and I remember him as a player a little bit, but not much. But Darwin Ham, I think he's going to be a really good coach. But the problem is,
you say it,
is that this Lakers team can't stay healthy. That's the biggest thing. And number two, they have Russell Westbrook. I mean, that's the two biggest things. You can put it in any order you want to.
Yeah. But
I mean, you got Anthony Davis, who, I mean, he's a really good talent. He's a top 10 player when he's healthy. He just cannot stay healthy. He's Chris Paul, basically. Like, he's Chris Paul. He's the only thing about it that's different is that he has a championship. And you can count the bubble if you want to. You cannot count the bubble if you don't want to. Whatever. I know some people do, some people don't. Either
that's
one.
Crazy. Just
still counts. I think it still counts, but I mean, put asterisks on it if you want. But he has the title and all that stuff. He's just fragile. He's just really, really fragile. Yeah. And I mean, if he goes over top of a pothole, driving over top of a pothole down.
Come on, Craig.
He's going to break his back. He's going to hurt his back. He's going to hurt his back. That's the end of it.
Stop saying that, man.
Yeah, he's going to hurt his back. I mean, he eats with a fork. He's going to.
Come on, Craig, man.
He's fragile, man, and it's unfortunate because he's a really good player.
You just went hard on AD, man.
He's fragile, man. Like like I said, I'm not dogging him as far as his talent. He's really good. It's just he can't stay on the court. And it just happens, injuries seem to find him. And then you got LeBron, who's aging. Like, he's not getting any younger. Yeah. So as great of a season as he had this year, he didn't play a lot of games either. He missed a lot of games. He can't afford to carry that team on his back for 82 games.
And he played 50, 56, or 55.
He played a little bit. Yeah, he didn't play enough to qualify for the scoring title.
I think it was less than. I think he played less than 60 games.
He did.
He played 50, 55, or 56 or something like that.
Yeah, he didn't play enough to get the scoring title. They're being contention for the scoring title. But I mean, he can't carry. You can't expect LeBron James to carry your team anymore at his age. I mean, he had a really good season. Like if his team would have won 49, 50 games instead of losing 39 games or whatever it is, he could have been MVP. He could have been at least in the conversation for MVP.
Yeah.
But I mean, and as great as LeBron is, he just can't do it by himself. He should not be your best player anymore. He can be 1B, but he should not be 1A.
Man,
I'm not dogging LeBron. He's
I'm just saying this is time.
Anthony Davis has to be 1A. LeBron has to be 1B.
Man,
and then obviously you got Russell Westbrook, who, look, Darwin Ham is not going to be able to come in and tell him you can't. Hey, stop shooting them jumpers. He's not going to be able to do that because Russell Westbrook has proven he doesn't listen to coaches when they tell him not to do stuff. He does what he wants. So if he doesn't listen to the coach, he's not going to listen to LeBron or Anthony Davis. And this is the team that's presently constructed. If they go in the season, I don't expect them to, but if they go into the season with this team like this, like it is right now, and you just mentioned all them teams coming back, and you forgot a team like Minnesota, you got a team like that who's on the rise. Teams like that, this Lakers team is going to be in for another play-in tournament. There's no way. As great as LeBron has been and all that stuff, and Anthony Davis, if they can't stay healthy and Russell Westbrook is doing what Russell Westbrook does, they're not making the play-in. Or they're not making the playoffs. They'll make the play-in, which is fortunate for them, as LeBron dogged it out a few years ago, questioning people who made the play-in. And the last couple of years, he's been in the play-in. So fortunately for you, but you have to find something. They had to make some moves. Zach LaVine, trade Russell Westbrook. They should have traded him for John Wall, because basically he'd have been nowhere on the court anyway. John Wall wouldn't have played, but then again, John Wall's healthy. He would have played. But Russell Westbrook, he's giving you nothing. So you got to do something. And then I'm talking about trading him for Kyrie.
That's craziness.
That's not gonna happen. Do that if I was the Nets. That's a stupid trade, but
that's not gonna happen.
The Lakers, as they are right now, are in trouble.
Yeah, that's not gonna happen, man. That's not gonna happen. Listen, as a Lakers fan, I love the hire. You know, Craig hating like Charles Barkley hating.
I'm not hating. I like the hire. It's just he's in over his head because the team is not going to be good around him if they can't stay healthy.
We don't know yet. The team.
I don't know. I'm looking at Anthony Davis the last 2 or 3 years. He cannot stay healthy.
We don't know who's going to be on the team. We don't know.
That's why I said that's presently constructed. I have to go with what I see right now. They're not winning right now.
Well, nobody's winning except for Boston and Golden State. Anyway, that's how I see it. So
now you're being literal.
I'm just saying, like, golly, man, we gotta wait till next year, like everybody else. Anyway, I'm just saying this is a great hire. I'm really thankful that they gave him his own coaching staff, which they should have done him with Ty Lue and Monty Williams. That's why they didn't come here. Ty Lue wanted a 4-year deal. They said no, and they said we could pick your coaching staff. That's why Ty Lue's not our head coach. That's why Monty Williams is not a head coach. Doesn't make sense to me. So they gave all that up, which I'm kind of proud of, to see the growth that Darwin Ham can pick his own coaching staff, and he's getting a lot of respect out the league. This is going to be a tough job, but it's the Lakers. You know, it's just one of those franchises that's always going to be in a microscope. I think he can handle it. I think he's going to be great at it. And, you know, also, Kurt Rambis was in the coaching meetings with Frank Vogel. This is dysfunction, okay? That's so dysfunctional and toxic. So now, yes, I said it as a Lakers fan. I told y'all, man, that's why I knew we weren't going to the playoffs. It was so much going behind the scenes, man. So now that Kurt Rambis isn't going to be in the coaching meetings, Darvin Ham has total control. I like that. I think it's just a step in the right direction. I don't know what the roster is going to look like. It's going to be tough. Zach LaVine is tough to get because the money doesn't match up. And Russ hasn't signed his tenure yet, so you gotta wait till that happens. And you know, and then Russ is gonna decide where he wants to go, unfortunately. So it depends, you know. I think that if they could get a deal for him to go back to Charlotte, he would love it. He would play with, you know, Michael Jordan. He's on a Jordan brand. It's not, unfortunately, the Lakers is like the Knicks. It's just a big market team. And you're playing with LeBron and you're gonna be on the news cycle 24 hours. You're gonna have a lot of games on TV. It is what it is.
I mean, but
you know, in football, it's just a big market. It's like playing. Unfortunately, his game was under a microscope, and he didn't like it. You know, he didn't like being called West Brick, even though he's been being called that for years. I'm not tripping. This year was not the first year I heard West Brick. Okay, and he took offense to it. It's just a big city, so I think they're gonna work it out, and I don't think he's gonna be there next year. I think they'll, you know, part ways, and if he's there, then, you know, I got Darvin Ham figuring it out.
No. He can't figure that out. Nobody can.
I don't know if nobody. You're right. I would be disappointed if he's all there. He does not listen. He doesn't listen. He doesn't change the game, and his game is.
He's the same. He's just a rim runner. That's all. He can't shoot. He rim runs.
Yeah, he can't. He goes too fast.
He brings energy, which, I mean, you got to love the energy, but with that energy, man, it comes turnovers. It comes
a lot of turnovers.
He can't shoot, and he's out of control. He's just not.
Doesn't listen, man. Doesn't listen. Mo, what you think about Darvin Ham?
I mean, I love it. Players coach. I mean, played the game before. I love the fact it's a new voice. You know, I love people giving the opportunity. Just looking at LeBron played 56 games last year. I was looking it up on my phone. But LeBron played 56 games last year.
Yeah.
And he averaged 30 points, 8 rebounds, and 6 assists a game.
Yeah, he's still there, but he don't got that much time.
While playing 37 minutes. I mean, he needs help. Like, he can't do that. He's not that guy to do that. He could do that if you want to just win games and stay relevant. But like Craig said, that's not getting you to no playoffs. I mean, it might get you to play in, but him at this stage, LeBron had to do that just for you to be relevant, he's going to wear down, and that's not going to get you in the playoffs. That's not going to get you a series win. So, I mean, I love to hire two things that's going to be needed. And because of the salary and because of the moves they made, I don't know if they're going to be able to fix the two things that they need the most. And that's defense. They need players that want to play defense and shooters. The two things you need to correct, I don't know if they have the wherewithal or they don't have the money or the capital to try to build that up.
Yeah.
Because let's just be honest with you, outside of LeBron and AD when he's healthy, nobody on that roster really wants to play defense. Like, it just looked terrible at times. It looked like people just out there like, okay, you can score now. I'm gonna go try to score.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying.
They got to reconstruct the roster.
And then there's no shooters outside of LeBron when he's hot or he's having a good night. There's no real shooters on that team. So it's like,
don't forget, Anthony Davis shot 18% from three.
Right. So I think they need. But I think Darwin Ham's the right coach to bring it out of some of these players. But if it ain't in you, it ain't in you. A coach can you can bring a new voice in all you want to, but if it's not in you, it's not in you. And at least with Boston, you can kind of see it was in them, but they just couldn't get over the hump. In LA, I really don't see it in a lot of these players to just play defense, to like commit themselves on the defensive end of the court.
Yeah, because you're exactly right. That's what it's gonna take. Now you're right about Tatum, because when he was playing on the US team, Popovich, sat him down and was like, man, me no disrespect, but you're really good. Do you want to be a two-way player in this league? Because you could play both. And that's really difficult to do. Yeah, man, playing defense and offense. Few players have done it.
I just hope for the situation. I just hope for the situation they don't do him dirty. I mean, I hope they give him, a chance for what that roster looks like. But also, I feel like the Lakers might be, because it's the Lakers, they might be unrealistic, saying, "Oh, we got Westbrook, we got LeBron, we got AD, we got Melo." Like, they might look at it like, "Oh, we're supposed to be this." No, you're not. You're not.
No, I think they're gonna give him I think they're gonna give him 4 years. It's gonna be hard, man. A lot of people saying,
Because the West not going nowhere. If you really look at it,
some people are saying we might have to rock with Russ, and we just not gonna be good. But then money comes off the books. I don't know what we're gonna do. Should have got Buddy Hill, but whatever.
I think what you gotta look at. We can say the top 10 teams. Let's throw the top 10 teams away right now. Let's put them in there. We know where they're gonna be. But you look at it. You look at some of the bottom tier teams. Minnesota ain't going nowhere.
Nope.
Even with Utah with their inconsistency, Utah's still a better team than the Lakers right now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You look at it, who else? Who else is right there? West, bottom tier. San Antonio, Clippers.
The Clippers are gonna be back healthy next year. They're gonna be a problem.
If Kawhi come back even halfway what he was, they're a top 14.
He's gonna come back ready to go full steam. They're gonna be a really good team next year.
If he does a Clay type of recovery, they're a top 14 easily.
I mean, I think he was ready. To be honest, I think he was ready to play.
You think they held him out like they just knew they
I think he held himself out. Yeah, I think he held himself out because, I mean, I don't think they were going. Listen, if they were, remember when he hurt himself and they got to the Western Conference Finals? If they would have gotten far and Paul George was healthy, like say they play Golden State round 2, I can see Kawhi coming back. But I think that, it's the plan. Let me get fully healthy. I'm not gonna rush myself back. I think you're right. I think the West, it's gonna be loaded. It's gonna be loaded next year, man. And then we don't know where Zach LaVine gonna go. He might go to Portland. They got the 7th pick.
I just hope Dame don't go to New York. I don't
think Dame going nowhere.
You think he gonna sit there and just be a star on a bad team?
I think
because ain't nobody rushing to go to Portland. Ain't nobody rushing.
Huh?
You don't want to win then.
Yeah. I think Zach LaVine's talking about he might go.
That's fine, but I ain't
think he likes the West Coast. You know, it's gonna be I don't know.
Portland reached their peak when they went to the conference finals.
Let me ask you a question.
Portland said they're trying to get Jeremy Grant and Zach LaVine.
Ain't gonna be enough.
Do y'all think Zion makes Pelicans that much better? Like what they were last year? I mean, they pushed what they was 7th seed, but they was the 8th seed, wasn't it? It was 8th seed, my bad. Do they become what top 5, top 6, push them one step left? It don't make them top 4. I'm sorry. I know it's respect to Zion, but he's not that mean to me to push them to top 4. Not in the West. I stress it right now.
They talking about not giving him fully guaranteed.
I wouldn't give him the money either. You don't deserve.
I wouldn't either. And to me, I mean, people have different opinions to this.
You got to play, man.
Listen. When we're in the playoffs, the spotlight should be for the players who are playing. I don't like how they was, broadcasting him doing dribble, drop step, 360 dunks, and he ain't gonna play. Hey, come on, man. Come on. Are we serious right now? Like, you teasing people, you got us looking like, because I'm like, if you able to do that and you making it newsworthy and showing that, then he should be playing.
Let's highlight Brandon Ingram, right?
Yeah. Let's highlight CJ McCollum. Let's highlight, what I'm saying, young big man from Texas. But we over here showing Zion Williams dribbling past an athletic trainer doing 360 dunks. Like, are we serious? Like, what are we doing?
They came out a few days ago and said Zion Williams is healthy or whatever. He's ready to go.
Yeah, that's why they talking about
he's not playing today.
Right.
He's not even in the playoffs.
And now they talk about that's why they talk about this contract talk, because he's healthy. He said he's healthy, he's ready to go. So now he want to talk about contract. What? Like, huh? You just got healthy. Why are we talking about money? Like, what?
We'll see, man. I don't know.
Story.
I don't know.
Don't talk to me about Zion Williamson until October when the season starts. Then you talk to me about Zion Williamson.
Yeah. No, I gotta see him at least 25 games before we start talking about him. If we want to talk about him on this show, he got to play at least 25 games. He got to play at least 25.
I don't bring him up on the show.
No, I'm saying if we want to talk about it. No, I get what you said, but I'm saying if he's going to be a topic, he got to at least play 25 games before we bring him up.
I mean, he gotta play, man. Yeah. I'm a big person, and I gotta play good. What's Deion saying? You gotta play good, man. They pay good, but you gotta play. You gotta play. You know, so
healthy enough to get on the court.
So he.
Hey, man, I love. We later on we gotta go on topic, but CBS Sports, man, I love them, man. They made 2 bold predictions about the NFL that I kind of set back and had to rewind it a little bit. Like, wait a second.
About to rest in peace to Jeff Gladney. That's crazy.
And Marion Barber.
Marion Barber just passed away. Yeah, man. Rest in peace, man. I can't believe that.
Yeah, decent running back, man. I remember when him and Jones. I forgot him and Jones from Arkansas, I think it was running hard.
Marion Barber was great, man. What did CBS say?
They made 2. It was the dude. He won. McFadden. He played for the Steelers, won the championship. He made 2 bold predictions. His first bold prediction was that Trevor Lawrence this year will be the best quarterback in the AFC South.
Oh, okay.
And then his other prediction was he said
Corey would like that.
Yeah, New Orleans Saints will win the division. He said New Orleans Saints are going to win that division.
That's a bold one, but not with Tom Brady there.
James is going to play out his mind. James is going to be outside his mind for this one.
That's not that bold.
It ain't. But that defense, no, it ain't. It ain't.
That defense is good.
No, that defense top 5.
Now, if he had said Falcons or the Panthers, I'd be like, okay, now.
Yeah, there we get a little bolder. There we
or if he would even said the Vikings.
Nah, it's not bold. Vikings win that division, not that bold. Cause I'm sorry. Hey, listen. Let me say this right now. If Aaron Rodgers puts up, and I know with a passing lead, people won't say, oh, he had a lot of attempts. If Aaron Rodgers puts up anywhere near the numbers he put up last year with this wide receiver core, it don't need to be an argument. Just go ahead and give him the award. Don't do no award show. Don't do none of that.
Yeah, if he puts up
if they win more than 11 games, he need to get
MVP.
MVP.
If they win more than 11 games, he gonna win MVP.
Yeah, that's not that receiving core. No.
If they go 12-4 and he has a season like he did last year, you have to
give it. You gotta give it to him 3-peat. You gotta give him 3-peat.
You gotta give it to him. There's no way you don't give it to him.
You know, the only way you could argue it, the only way you can argue it, it's impossible. I'm gonna give you another one. The only way you can argue it is if Brady put up a stupid, crazy season out of nowhere and get number one seed. Yeah, get number one seed.
Yeah.
Or Mahomes with them losing Tyreek. If Mahomes put a crazy season out the way, then you gotta kind of give it to him. But no, listen. Now when your best receiver might be a rookie, and then you got what? Cobb, you got Watkins, who you don't know, who's not even in camp yet. They don't even know if he on the field yet. Yeah. Sammy Watkins. They got unknown receivers.
They got all unknown receivers. Trevor Lawrence, man, that's not a. I don't think
that's not really bold though. No disrespect. No. But is that really that bold when you got Davis Mills, Matt Ryan at the end of his career, and you got Tannehill
or Willis, one of them.
Tannehill
already?
Nah, Tannehill.
Nah, I'm saying he'll probably.
He's saying it with a serious face too, bro.
The only way Tannehill gets benched. No, the only way Tannehill gets benched is if they go on like a downslide. They had to go on like a real bad losing streak. He ain't gonna start the season. Tannehill gonna start the season. It ain't no way.
Tannehill's gonna start the season. He ain't gonna finish the season. I don't think they're gonna be contending for a playoff spot. Not with all that.
That's gonna be tough. They gotta win the division.
They're not doing that either.
What you got? Tennessee? You got Colts winning the division?
I got Colts winning the division.
The Colts the last couple years, so they pretty much disappointed me. So they disappointed me again.
I had them last year.
I had them last year too. I'm used to it. So
yeah,
they didn't win the division.
We all had them last year. I was like, okay, the Colts are gonna do good. They should win the division. You know, with Matt Ryan, they should. If they don't win the division this year and Tennessee wins it, I'm just gonna look at Corey like, I mean, I don't know.
I don't know what y'all gonna do at this point.
I don't know what y'all gonna do.
Either because it doesn't look good.
It don't look good.
It don't look too good.
It don't look good. Derrick Henry look good running those hills though.
Hey man, this Philly talk got me a little disturbed, man. Everybody keep talking. Every time I look up, everybody doing stuff about Philly with the NFC East and all that. This thing got me a little disturbed.
Man, Craig's on that damn bandwagon, but we'll see. I'm not a believer.
I don't trust Jalen Hurts. Yeah, Jalen Hurts my X factor.
I gotta see it. I gotta see it to believe.
He get the boogie now.
Did you not see it last year, or you didn't?
Nope, I ain't see it. I ain't believe it, man.
Okay.
Well, I gotta see it. Show me.
Believe it. Well,
I'm from the show me state. Show me.
You'll see it again this year. Just pay attention. Keep your eyes open.
Yeah, more money. That's what I'm on. Show me. Show me the money, Jalen.
Now. Do we got the offense though? Do we got the receiving core? Absolutely. Lord have mercy. With Devontae Smith.
Can Jalen Hurts get him the ball?
AJ Brown.
AJ Brown gonna be frustrated.
Goddard. You got Goddard.
Frustrated to watch.
You got it's another.
AJ Brown gonna be frustrated. He gonna be frustrated.
If you can't get AJ Brown the ball on quick slants or quick hitters, there's something wrong with you.
He cannot be any more frustrated than he was with Tannehill. Like he
is gonna be more frustrated.
I don't think Tannehill is better than.
I think Tannehill's better than Jalen Hurts. I think Tannehill's way better than Jalen Hurts.
Okay, way better. No, I don't.
Yep, I don't think Jalen Hurts is that guy. And he gonna show you this year. You gonna be like, you know what?
I don't think Tannehill's that guy.
Well,
you're not telling me anything.
Tannehill better than Hurts.
Man, I ain't buying that one.
I'll tell you right now. Hurts gonna let a lot of people down.
Did Tennessee get another receiver? Who's Tennessee best receiver? Is it the rookie or they brought somebody else in? I thought they brought somebody else in.
It's Robert Woods when he gets back.
Woods.
Oh yeah. But Lord have mercy.
He's not there yet.
Yeah, you better do something because shoot, if I'm facing them right now, I'm gonna do what teams do against Baltimore. I'm gonna put everybody in that box. Both safeties. I'm playing man coverage. You got to beat me. You got to eat me alive.
Henry look good though.
Tannehill sucks.
Henry look good. So anyway, let's hear. These are the last two. I'm gonna start off with this one. New head coach Brian Daboll said that the new offense installed is going to unleash Saquon Barkley. Do you believe it?
No, because your run game in Buffalo wasn't necessarily predicated on the run. So what you mean? Like you what you run a new offensive system? Because what you ran in Buffalo wasn't producing no running yards. So I mean, unless you feel like you didn't have now, granted, was any of his backs in Buffalo halfway or Saquon Barkley? No. But your offense really wasn't looking like it was predicated for running the football. So I want to see in your offensive line, unless you got a goon on that offensive line, I can't even name one of the offensive linemen right now, except for big dude from Georgia a couple years back, Thomas or something like that.
They just got to do it in Alabama.
I'm like, come on. Oh yeah, well.
Yeah. They
like,
got Thomas and they got Evan Neal, right?
Yeah. I mean, I gotta see it though. I gotta see it up close and personal. But I mean, now if they can get, they're gonna need that to happen because you want to do a lot of play action and stuff like that. If you think you're gonna drop back like you do with like you did back in the day with Josh Allen, with Daniel Jones, and throw the ball 30 times, 35 times a game, yeah, okay. You want to sit there in top 5 pick again. You know what I'm saying? So you try that again. You try that if you want to.
Craig, you got you go ahead, Mo. My bad.
Yeah, so I mean, I don't. Let me say this: if he's changing his offense, but if he's tethering that based on what he ran in Buffalo, no, then I can't say, oh, but you're gonna get Saquon off. You're because you didn't show that you had a legitimate run game offense in Buffalo.
Greg, you picking on fantasy, Greg?
Am I doing fantasy?
You go draft Saquon?
No.
I'm not.
Brian, you not
last year.
Unless
Brian Daboll says a new offense.
I mean, if I get him in the second or third round, and I don't think he's. No, I'm good. I drafted Saquon the last couple of years. I had him in a keeper league, and he's disappointed me. Him and Chris McCaffrey. But as far as Saquon goes, I mean, obviously it sounds good. Like you want to get Saquon the ball, running the ball, because the last couple of years he hasn't been healthy and he hasn't really played as much, and his legs should be kind of fresh and all this stuff. And like it sounds good in May, June.
Yep.
But when September gets here and October, and then you start to get middle to late in the season, it's colder outside. Like I don't know what that's going to accomplish. And then the Giants are not that good, so you're going to be down, I would assume, in most of the games. So you are trailing. So that running game is not going to be there. So maybe he's also talking about getting Saquon involved in the passing game. Now, if you get Saquon involved in the passing game, then obviously that kind of opens things up. That takes a little bit of pressure off of Daniel Jones. He can do some check downs, do some screens, get the ball, open his, get to Barkley in space or whatever it is. You don't have to launch the ball down the field or whatever it is. But I mean, if the running game does get going, obviously that sets up the play action fast. Does some little trick plays in there, do whatever you want to do. But I had to see it to believe it, man, because he cannot stay healthy. I was talking about Anthony Davis.
Yeah, Saquon can stay
Anthony Davis. Like don't like you got to put him in. You got to wrap this guy in bubble wrap the whole. Don't let him play no preseason. Wrap him up in bubble wrap the whole from now until the season.
Craig, man, come on, man.
I'm serious. You cannot take any type of unnecessary precautions or whatever you want to call it with this guy, because you had to bring out all the safety measures with this guy, because he's your franchise running back. Like he was the top. He was number 2. Like you have to pull out all the stops with this guy and make sure he's ready to go when the season starts. And even still, that might not be enough because he's going to get hurt during the season. It's just a matter of time. It's inevitable. He's proven time in and time out he's not built for 17. He's not built for 17 games. Yeah. He's not built for 15 games. He can't stay healthy. So I'm just going to go out and say he's going to get hurt again. It's only a matter of time. Yeah, it is what it is. He's going to get hurt again. It's only a matter of time. I'm saying the same thing about Chris McCaffrey. It's only a matter of time. And you can put him out there all you want to and start talking. You're going to get him involved, and it sounds good. Lip service sounds good in May. And then you get to the season, and you never know what's like. What Mike Tyson say, everybody has a plan until they get punched in the mouth. It's all sounds good right now, and then you get out and the actual season starts, and then something happens on either side that can dictate the whole rest of the game and how you play the game and how your offense is then ran or whatever it is. So obviously, you want him to go out and play well because that'll help Daniel Jones out. But I'm not buying it.
Yeah, first of all, they're gonna be down. I don't care what you say. They're not a good team. Come on, man. They just had a top pick. They keep having these high draft picks. So they're not a good team. It's just plain and simple. They haven't been a good team since Eli, and they drafted Daniel Jones way too high. This is tricky because if he stays healthy, yes, but here's the problem. Like Craig said, I'm putting 8 in the box. You can get Saquon in space all you want to. I'm putting 8 in the box. You're gonna have to beat me with Daniel Jones.
Yeah, I'm playing man across the board. I'm not playing no zone. Like, so I'm locking up man to man. If you get beat, you go into the bench. If you get beat, what the Giants receivers? If you get beat, you go into the bench.
Kadarius Toney, Galladay.
Hey, come on, man.
Sterling Shepard.
Yeah, they signed one or they drafted another one decent. Yeah, like, come on, man. What?
So, Mo made a good point. His offense wasn't catered to the run in Buffalo. You know, Josh Allen did a lot of the running, and they were designed runs. So, I mean, unless he's changing his offense, maybe. And then Saquon's getting to that, unfortunately, and this is real. Running backs have a short lifespan in the NFL.
Is this Saquon's 4th year or 3rd?
5th.
Oh, Lord. Oh, yeah, well.
It's hard. Look at Zeke.
He's only 24, but.
Yeah, those miles. Look at Zeke. I love Zeke. But it wore down his body. He balled for a minute, too. Zeke was he was good for a minute.
But also, Zeke was, before the 09 went down, Zeke was top 5 in rushing yards, though. Zeke was like top 4.
You could tell, man. You know, it's hard, man. It's hard. It's unfortunately NFL is not forgiving, and it's a lot of wear and tear on the body, especially they move to 17 games. So I hope Saquon stays healthy, and I hope this offense is going to, but I just don't believe it, especially if this is your only offensive weapon.
Saquon has not lived up to the hype. He's had one good year, and that was his rookie year.
And I got him in fantasy, and he was hurt. I was blown.
Last year, he played 13 games. I didn't think he played that many. He played 13 games and had 593 yards and 2 touchdowns.
I don't know. I'm getting Jonathan Taylor next year. I know I'm getting Jonathan Taylor for my fantasy. And I'm trying to think myself about.
Yeah, so he just, and if you like, okay. CMC, Zeke, they have really phenomenal starts to their careers, and now unfortunately it's just hard for running backs to have, a long career. Right?
I mean, I think you also got to add in team. I mean, I think with McCaffrey, you also got to add in team moves to that. I think we can't go strictly on strictly just the wear and tear running back position. Like Carolina's moves hasn't helped him to grow or to be more productive.
But he started his career better off than Saquon.
That's fair. That's definitely fair.
And Saquon, unfortunately, it gets harder when you get older, especially as an NFL running back. It gets harder. Yeah. No matter if he stays healthy, it's still gonna be harder for him because of his age.
Because even now, I play Carolina like I would play, like almost like we talking about with the Giants. I'm gonna put everybody in the box. Yeah, beat me with Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold got to beat me. I'm sorry. If Sam Darnold will beat me, I'm gonna be a lost somebody.
And that's hard because the running backs getting hit every play, and then it's gonna start like every team. Oh, this offense is boom. And then by game 5 or 6, it's gonna start slowing down.
Yeah, like what happened?
What happened? The Giants are 3-10. They started out the season 3-0. What happened? No, I'm saying that's what's gonna happen.
Lord, I'm about to say, Lord, have mercy.
They gonna start 3-0, and then are 2-1. Look at this new Giants team, and it's gonna start going down because they're gonna stack that.
But the thing is, I think they're gonna give. I think they're gonna give. I think they know that. I think with this situation, they're gonna give the ball a certain amount of time because they know Daniel Jones is on a 1-year situation. So I think they're gonna give him at least 3 years to show he can turn around because they know they're gonna get a rookie quarterback. They're gonna get another quarterback next year.
I don't know, man. I hope so. The NFL is rough.
It is. In New York is rough. If the paper bash you enough, they gotta make a decision. New York will bash you enough to make you force your hand.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. So Aaron Donald came out on the podcast that I watched earlier. I watch it quite frequently. I am athlete. I watched it. It's divided now between the pivot and I'm athlete, but I watched it when it was originally Shannon Crowder, Brandon Marshall, Fred Taylor. And it was a good podcast. It still is good. And then they had Ocho Cinco on there. It's a great podcast. It's NFL players talking. So it was Aaron Donald, Brandon Marshall, Shady McCoy, and Pac-Man Jones. And they were talking to Aaron Donald. Aaron Donald says if the Rams don't offer him a new contract, he's at peace with retiring. Do you think Aaron Donald retires?
Nah.
If you don't get a new contract, yeah.
I think he's out.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
No, I think I think if they don't,
okay.
Yeah,
he's saying that. Okay.
Yeah, if they don't get a new contract,
ain't gonna play.
Yeah,
I mean,
he's solidified.
Yeah, he solidified himself as the dominant defensive player in this league.
He's one of the best defensive players ever.
If you, I'm talking about right now. I understand what you're saying. I'm not
ever of all time.
But like the Super Bowl, it was just ridiculous. Second half, I'm looking like, are you serious right now? Like I'm just looking like this dude is just out here just totally taking over the game at the defensive tackle position. I'm like, when have we? It's been a long time since we've seen somebody at the defensive tackle position,
Reggie White,
take over. Well, Reggie White was more in, but he moved around. But at the D tackle position, like take over games like this to like affect the game. Like I think
I'm
more.
Just trying to think in a Super Bowl.
Like, I haven't seen a D tackle. Yeah, I'm thinking the last time we seen a D tackle take over a game like
maybe
where
Sat.
Yeah, where they were moving him around and they was putting him on the center. He was dogging the center. They had to make an adjustment. They put him over top of the guard. They put him over top of their worst guard, and he was just eating them for lunch. Like it was just sad.
Well, he says he sees 3 people plus the running back.
So
every game.
I mean, I just don't understand. I mean,
game.
if you don't pay him, I think he's at peace. He's a Hall of Famer right now without playing another down. So
yes.
I think he's at peace with what his career will be if you don't pay him. So I think he's at peace saying, I'm a Super Bowl winner. Yep. I'm going down as one of the best, if not the best, defensive tackle in the game all time. So definitely one of the top 5 to 10 defensive players, period, of all time.
Yeah,
so,
people talk about he might be the best defensive player ever.
Yeah. So I think I just don't. I mean, I think he's at peace with what he's done.
I think it's Lawrence Taylor, but that's just me.
Yeah, he don't. I mean, I don't think he feels like he needs to add something more to the game. Oh, I definitely say he top 10 defensive players all time.
Oh, I think he's top 3.
Yeah. As far as what he brings to the game, the disruption he calls to the game, like the impact. Where when you watch that tape, you strictly watching him. You no disrespect to what's the boy name at corner? No respect to him, but
Jalen Ramsey.
Jalen Ramsey, but. You watch the tape, you strictly zeroing on him. Like, what are we going to do to block him? To get him blocked this game for us to win.
Yeah. Craig, you think he's retiring?
I mean, obviously, if you don't get a contract, I'm taking him at his word. Yeah. So if he comes out and says if you don't get a new contract, he's gonna retire, then I think he's gone. I mean, see a lot of players retiring young anyway. So this just be another really good player that's retiring young. I mean, whether it's from injury or just you know what I'm saying, is the circumstances or the situation just happens to happen like it is now for him. This guy's starting to leave early, so it'll just be another really good player that's fortunately leaving the game early. If this does happen, but I mean, like Mo said, like this guy's already solidified himself as one of the top defensive players of all time. I think probably top 3. I mean, between him, Reggie White, and Lawrence Taylor. I mean, you could argue like Deacon Jones and all these other people that Deion Sanders wanted to, stuff like that.
Deion Sanders,
But I mean, like for him to be at his position, like a D tackle versus a D end, like it's crazy. And I mean, you could argue right now he's the best player in the NFL right now.
Yeah.
Yes. Offensive side or defensive.
Yes,
side.
right now, yes.
Right. So I don't have a problem with him if he wants to leave. I don't have a problem with him wanting to leave. He's leaving healthy. He's leaving with a championship. He's leaving on top. He knows he's one of the best players in the league now and overall, like all of all time. So, I mean, he has nothing else left to prove. So he can go out with his head held high and go out walking on his own 2 feet, which a lot of people don't get to do. And a lot of people don't get to go out and leave the game at the top of their sport. Like, so
I agree.
It'll be good for him as far as if he wants to leave and he doesn't have to worry about getting hurt again, doesn't have to worry about he can play with his kids. And I mean, I would assume, maybe he has some injuries here and there and stuff like that.
No, he's pretty healthy.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, for the most part, I would assume he's pretty healthy. So he can go out and play with his kids and live the rest of his life and just be a normal dad. You know what I'm saying? So it'll be unfortunate for the league, especially it'll be unfortunate for the Rams.
I mean, if he doesn't come back,
that'll change a lot of
they're not winning it.
People's ideas of who's going to win. I mean, in already shortened NFC, you take a team who right now is the best team in the NFC, and then it just becomes even more wide open. But hats off to Aaron Sam Aaron Donald if he does decide to hang it up. I mean, he's had a great career. So, but it'll be stupid for the Rams not to give him a contract, especially after everything he's done. Especially if you can make it work, and you just decided you don't want to do it just because you don't want to pay somebody. Like, that's just dumb, especially when he's done everything for your franchise. But it is what it is. It'd just be a stupid move for the Rams, but I'm hoping he comes back.
Yeah, I think if the Rams want to win and F them picks, they got to pay him. Like, Von Miller just got paid. I'm listening to him on the podcast. First of all, I mean, he's a beast. He wakes up at 4:30 in the morning and works out. He said he's been doing that since he's 12. He's like, it's just ingrained in me. That's what he does. He works out. He doesn't have a trainer. He has a speed coach, but he doesn't have a trainer. He said that he took bits and pieces of trainers over the years and he trains himself. I could assume all the great, like LeBron probably does that. Tom Brady, he has coaches, but he has a full-time chef. He gets massage, full-time masseuse on deck.
He needs to call Deshaun then.
Augusta, he takes care of his body. He doesn't. There's no price on it, but he takes care of his body a lot. He puts a lot to his body. He's good mentally. He said, I wanted to play 8 years. Said play 8 years, 8 Pro Bowls, seven first team All Pros. 7? That's I think he's the only player in NFL history, I think, to have 7.
Really? 7? Oh,
7 All Pros. Yeah,
that's
first
crazy.
team. Yeah. That's
crazy. That's
all
crazy.
decade team, 3 defensive player of the years, Super Bowl winner, dominated the second half of the Super Bowl, made a huge play at the end of the game. I mean, so he was like, man, I'm cool. I can walk away.
He did enough for the game. He's done enough for the game. Can't nobody question it. Like,
no,
what you gonna
he's
say?
done enough for the game. He's the first ballot Hall of Famer. He's a cool guy. He plays with his kids, but he did say this. He said, it's nothing like winning a Super Bowl. He said the confetti, he said the way that I felt was awesome. And he was like, that's the only way. He was like, I see how Tom Brady feels. I see how all those Super Bowl winners feels. He was like, I ain't gonna lie. If I come back, that's the goal, because I want to feel that feeling again.
Hey, all right, so